What started as a few public appearances and innocent interactions has now turned into one of the most talked about celebrity rumors on social media. Over the past few weeks, the internet has been completely consumed with speculation surrounding Melody Shari, Hill Harper, and Martell Holt, and somehow what began as curiosity quickly evolved into pregnancy rumors, emotional reactions, and non-stop debate across TikTok, Twitter, blogs, and YouTube. Fans have been analyzing every detail imaginable, from body language and Instagram activity to old interviews, event appearances, timelines, and even who was seen shopping for baby items in Atlanta. And the craziest part is that despite Melody eventually speaking out herself and directly denying the rumors, the conversation still refuses to slow down. In fact, from many people online, her response only made the curiosity even stronger. Now fans are trying to figure out whether this entire situation is just another example of social media taking things too far, or if there is actually more happening behind the scenes than anyone realizes. And once Martell's emotional reactions reportedly entered the conversation, things became even more complicated. So how did a few moments between Melody and Hill Harper become one of the internet's biggest ongoing discussions? And why are people still so emotionally invested in every new development? Let's get into it. The reason this situation exploded so quickly is because Melody and Martell already have a long and emotional history that people have followed publicly for years. Ever since their relationship drama unfolded on Love and Marriage Huntsville, fans have remained deeply attached to their story. At one point, Melody and Martell looked like the definition of a successful power couple. They built businesses together, raised a family together, and publicly presented a life that many viewers admired. But behind the scenes, their marriage was reportedly struggling for a long time due to Martell's cheating scandal, which eventually became impossible to hide. Once the truth came out publicly, this situation turned into one of the most talked about breakups in reality television, and people watched their marriage completely fall apart in real time. What made the situation even more emotional for viewers was seeing how differently both of them handled life afterward. Melody appeared determined to rebuild herself, focus on her children, expand her career, and protect her peace, while Martell often seemed emotionally tied to the past, especially whenever Melody's name came up publicly or whenever discussions about her personal life started trending online again. Because of that history, fans now connect Martell to almost every new chapter involving Melody, whether he is directly involved or not. That is exactly why people became so interested once Hill Harper entered the picture. At first, nobody really thought much about it. Melody and Hill were simply seen together at public events and community gatherings, and most people assumed it was nothing more than friendship or professional networking. But social media has a way of turning small moments into massive narratives very quickly, especially when public figures are involved. Over time, people started paying closer attention to their interactions. Fans noticed that Melody seemed comfortable around Hill Harper in a way they had not really seen publicly since her divorce. Then people began pointing out moments where Hill appeared around her children, which immediately intensified the speculation online. Suddenly, comment sections were full of theories claiming that their connection seemed deeper than friendship, and social media detectives started searching for any clue they could find to support the idea that there might be a secret relationship happening behind the scenes. But things truly exploded once pregnancy rumors entered the conversation. According to online speculation, one of Melody's close friends was reportedly shopping for baby items in Atlanta, and somehow that single detail became enough for the internet to completely spiral out of control. Almost immediately, TikTok creators started posting theories suggesting Melody might be pregnant. Blogs picked up the rumor and began connecting Hill Harper's name to the situation, and within hours, the speculation spread across multiple platforms. What is wild about the entire situation is that there was never any confirmed pregnancy announcement, no official statement, and no evidence proving any of the claims being made online. Yet once people started piecing random details together, the internet treated the rumor as if it was already confirmed. This is exactly how social media works now. A few clips, a vague interaction, or a moment taken out of context can quickly become a full storyline before anyone involved even has a chance to respond.
As the rumors kept growing, attention also shifted back toward Martell Holt because many people online began watching his behavior very closely. Reports and fan discussions suggested that Martell seemed emotionally affected by everything happening. People started pointing to emotional social media posts, cryptic captions, and changes in his online behavior as signs that he might be struggling privately while watching Melody potentially move on. Now, to be fair, much of this came from interpretation rather than direct confirmation, but perception alone was enough to fuel endless debate. Because of Martell's history with Melody, audiences naturally view his reactions through the lens of their past relationship. Every emotional post becomes analyzed for hidden meaning. Every quote gets connected back to Melody. And whether those assumptions are accurate or not, the internet continues treating the situation like an ongoing emotional storyline that never fully ended after the divorce. What makes this entire situation even more interesting is how differently Melody appears to be handling public attention compared to previous years. In the past, viewers were used to seeing public back-and-forth exchanges, emotional reactions, and direct responses to drama. But now, Melody seems much more selective about what she addresses publicly. Instead of constantly defending herself or reacting to every rumor, she has leaned more into silence and controlled communication. Many fans believe this shift reflects personal growth and emotional healing. Rather than allowing social media to pull her back into stressful public conflict, she now appears focused on protecting her peace and prioritizing stability in her life. And honestly, that change may be one of the biggest reasons why people are even more curious now. Sometimes silence creates more speculation than drama itself, because audiences start trying to interpret what the silence means. Eventually, after the rumors became impossible to ignore, Melody finally decided to address the situation directly during an Instagram Live. And once she spoke, the entire internet immediately reacted. First, she completely denied the pregnancy rumors and made it clear that she is not expecting a baby. Then she addressed the speculation surrounding Hill Harper and explained that their relationship is currently just friendship. But perhaps the biggest moment from her response was when she reportedly emphasized that Martell's emotional struggles or reactions are no longer her responsibility. That statement alone triggered major reactions online because many viewers interpreted it as a powerful sign of emotional separation and personal growth. For a lot of fans, it felt like Melody was finally making it clear that she has fully moved on mentally and emotionally from the cycle that once defined so much of her public narrative. Even after Melody denied the rumors directly, however, the conversation still did not stop. In fact, some people became even more convinced that there could still be something happening privately between her and Hill Harper. And honestly, that reflects a much bigger issue with internet culture today. Once audiences emotionally invest in a storyline, facts alone do not always end the discussion. Instead, people continue searching for hidden meanings, alternative explanations, and evidence that supports the version of events they personally believe. This is why fans continue analyzing every appearance Melody and Hill Harper make together, every interaction online, and every new social media post connected to either of them. The speculation has now become larger than the original rumor itself. Meanwhile, Hill Harper has remained in a very complicated position throughout all of this because most of the attention surrounding him comes entirely from public speculation rather than anything he has directly confirmed himself. Yet, once a public figure becomes attached to a trending narrative online, it becomes incredibly difficult to separate their actual reality from the version social media creates. His involvement in the story has mostly been driven by interpretation, but because audiences are so invested emotionally, his name continues circulating in discussions regardless. At this point, the entire situation says a lot about how modern celebrity culture works. Stories no longer depend entirely on confirmed facts. Instead, narratives are built through emotion, assumptions, viral clips, and audience interpretation. A single appearance can become a headline. A small interaction can become a relationship rumor. And once the internet decides a story is interesting, it often continues growing even after direct clarification is given. For Melody, this means every move she makes will likely continue being analyzed for hidden meaning. For Martell, it means his past relationship continues shaping public perception of his present. And for Hill Harper, it means being connected to a trending narrative that may have started from nothing more than public curiosity. But through all the noise, one thing has remained consistent. Melody's focus appears to be on protecting her peace, raising her children, growing her career, and moving forward with her life regardless of what social media decides to believe. Whether fans eventually let the rumors go or continue creating new theories remains to be seen. But right now, what keeps this entire story alive is not confirmed information. It's curiosity, emotional history, and the internet's obsession with trying to uncover what might be happening behind the scenes. And honestly, that may be the biggest reason this conversation still refuses to disappear.